It's crazy to me how just like simple mind shifts can really open your eyes up to so much that you may have really been missing out on in the world or not really seeing because your vision was so clouded focusing on the negative. Positive thinking and these little mind shifts have really changed my life, so I just wanted to share with you some of the things that I've done, and hopefully you can learn a few techniques that might help you shift your brain into living a more positive, happier, and like abundant lifestyle. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Monique, and today's video is going to be on mindset techniques that I have really implemented in my life the past few years that have completely changed my mindset and my way of thinking. And I know that if you listen to all of these techniques in the video, you will be on your way to living a more full, abundant, and happier lifestyle, just like I did. And I'm also going to share some of my favorite podcasts at the end of this video for you to check out for personal development, personal growth, and just podcasts that are really good to fill your brain with the good stuff and expand your thinking in life. Just real quick before we get into the video, if you're new here, I post videos every Tuesday and Friday on wellness, beauty, and just general lifestyle content. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, I would love it if you would subscribe and join my community here on YouTube. And then also don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you like this style of content. It really helps out my channel, and it also lets me know what kind of content it is that you like so that I can make sure I'm always providing value to you. Alright, so let's get into my positive thinking techniques. Okay, so just a little backstory. I haven't always been the most positive person, and it can be really hard to be positive. I really think that my brain is just wired to see the worst case scenario in every situation. I've always been that way, to the point where I can have a problem, find the worst, and then obsess over what could go wrong. In doing so, I didn't even realize how much damage I was doing to my life. When you only focus on the negative, that's all you see is the negative. So I feel like I was just kind of going through the motions and not living my life as fully as I had hoped and as I could be. I also struggled a lot with anxiety, and over the years, I've actually realized how much of my anxiety comes from imagining the worst and thinking negatively. I really wanted to get rid of that mindset, get rid of my anxiety, and I'm not claiming that these techniques are just going to get rid of your anxiety, but they will definitely help. I know that they help me. It's really just good to get you out of ruts and for you to see life in a whole new lens. And don't get me wrong, there's definitely times where I'm not the most positive and I do think negatively, but I'm definitely way better than I was 2 to 3 years ago. So every day is a step in the right direction, and I know that all of these tips, make sure you watch them all and listen to them all, will definitely help you. Okay, so I do want this video to be more like relaxed and kind of more of a chit chat, so I'm not gonna be as direct and formal as I am when I give other tip videos, but I just want this to be more of a conversation. So grab your coffee. I have a to-go coffee. I just went out to breakfast, so that's why I have this styrofoam cup. Grab a snack and let's just relax and have a little talk about positivity and how to reframe your mind. Okay, so the first thing that I really want to start off with and talk about that has to do with positivity and positive thinking is the idea of you attract what you are. So I first heard of this when I was watching one of Sam Oscraw's videos a year or so ago. She posts a lot about the law of attraction, and she's into that kind of stuff on her channel. And the main thing that really stuck out with me when I was listening to that is that you attract what you become. Once I started thinking about that, that is so true. The more that you are focusing on the negative and only seeing the negative in situations, the more of the negative is going to come up in your life. I noticed this in so many ways. This is just a very small example that I have, and I'm sure you guys deal with this too, but there will be times where I'm a huge procrastinator, so I'm always in a rush. And I will be coming home from work, rushing, or like I'm just really in a hurry, want to get in the door, gotta unlock the door, but maybe my hands are full and I can't get in, I can't find the key, so then I just start getting frustrated because I really need to get inside now, or maybe I have to go to the bathroom, I don't know. But I just keep getting more frustrated and more frustrated, so it's taking me even longer to find the key, get the key in the door, unlock the door, get in. It's just crazy to me that it's taking even longer because I'm just getting frustrated and feeling those negative emotions rather than taking a deep breath and being like, okay, Monique, this really isn't a big deal. You're gonna get in the house. Take the key, put it in the door, and it will go so much more smoothly. Like, there's so many times I have to remind myself how this really isn't a big deal and keep perspective. And like I said, this is such a small example, and there's a lot of other small examples that I could use. Like maybe when you're stuck in traffic. I hate being stuck in traffic. I get like instant rage when I'm in a traffic jam. I just get so irritated. It's really dumb because most of the time you're in a traffic jam, it's because construction or somebody got in a horrible accident. And if it is an accident, whatever is going on with them is much worse, and they're dealing with much worse than you having to sit there through traffic, you know? And the two things that I like really want to touch on that is just kind of like, first off, be thankful, be grateful that you only having to sit with traffic. Pray for the people that are in the accident that possibly could be hurt. Really, it's not about you. Second is not to get that rage and get that intensity, because all that does is make the situation worse for you, where it's building up, and really you're gonna have to sit in that traffic anyway. Just realize that feeling those negative emotions are only hurting you, and they're only making you more angry. So instead, I always try when I get in traffic to keep perspective, to remain grateful, and to not focus on so much of the negative. Those might be dumb examples, but those are just two little things that I notice a lot in my life, but there's definitely more bigger problems or bigger issues that people might think negatively about. Maybe you aren't happy with your job, aren't happy where you're living, aren't happy with your current life situation, but instead of sitting there focusing on every little negative detail about it, it's really, really important to keep perspective and to remain grateful. And that is kind of the next thing that I wanted to touch on, is remaining grateful. Honestly, this is like my number one tip for reframing your mind from negative to positive, because it's something about creating a gratitude list and just really focusing on what it is that you're grateful for really helps to reframe your brain into seeing the good. So like I just mentioned, maybe you aren't happy with your current job or living situation, or really it could be anything. And I know it's so easy for us as humans to be like, oh, I hate my job, or to find every little problem that you have that's wrong with your job, but instead focus on the positive. Like, I'm so grateful that I have a job and that I get to wake up every morning and get paid. I have an income and I can support myself, I can support my family. Some people don't have a job. We are so lucky and blessed to be employed, especially right now. If you were employed during the coronavirus pandemic, you are so blessed, you are so fortunate. So focusing on the positive instead of the negative really helps reframe your mind, and you will start to see the more positive aspects of what it is that you have. I highly suggest every morning you create a gratitude list and just write down 10 things that you're grateful for. And it can be stupid, silly things. Like, I always write my cat, and she's not stupid, I love her. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not writing this huge monumental thing. Or it can be my styrofoam cup of coffee. It can be a nice warm shower. I mean, there are so many things in life that we are blessed with, and I just think that we really take for granted. And so really, when you focus on the positive, it just helps put things into perspective. You attract more positivity into your life. I always feel like when I'm focusing more on the positive, I am able to see more of what I think. So I bought one of Sam Oscroll's books. She has this experiment in her book where she tells you to only focus on seeing a blue Jeep. I think it was a blue Jeep. And then, so you just tell yourself, I'm going to see a blue Jeep. It is crazy. I was driving down the highway the next day and I saw a blue Jeep. And it's not, I'm not trying to say like it's magic or something like that, because that's not it at all. It's just more of like reframing your brain, and then your brain notices what you're telling it. That's why she uses the blue Jeep, just so that you can learn to trust that that is actually a technique that happens. I'm not saying like you can be like, I'm gonna be a millionaire and you're just gonna get $1 million this tomorrow, because no, that's not the case. But it's just what you tell your brain is what you pay attention to. So you don't want to feed your brain with negative emotions, negative thoughts, negative feelings, because that's what you are going to pay attention to in your life, and you are going to get stuck. So it's so much more important to tell yourself the positive, focus on the positive. If there's something that you really want, let's say you want to lose 20 pounds, tell yourself, I'm going to lose 20 pounds. I'm going to lose 20 pounds. Tell yourself that every day while working towards it. You can't, obviously, like I said, it's not magic. You have to continue to be working towards it, and eventually you will get there, rather than being hard on yourself and saying, ugh, I'm the worst. I wish I could lose 20 pounds. Like, I'm never gonna get there. Well, yeah, you probably won't then, because that's what you're focusing on and that's what you're telling yourself. So reframe your thinking. You become what you are seeing, what you are focusing on. The power is in you. And instead of dreading what you have to do, like, oh, I have to do the dishes, oh, I have to take the dog out, think more positive. Oh, I can do the dishes. Maybe I'll watch a nice YouTube video, be more relaxed. This is time for myself. Oh, I'm gonna take the dog for a walk. I'm gonna get to be in nature. I'm so grateful for the nice weather. Always, always focus on the positive. It's such a simple thing, and it really just reframes your thoughts. Something that I feel like a lot of people do, and it's honestly the worst thing you can do when trying to be more positive and think positive in your life, is they have like this entitled mentality. Like, they think that the world owes them something, and the world owes you nothing. Instead of being like, why didn't I get this? Why didn't I get this job? Why didn't I get this promotion? Why didn't I get this house? So negative, and focusing on all of the things that might not have happened to you is the worst thing that you can do, because you're acting like the world owes you something. The world owes you nothing. And that's something that I feel like so many people struggle with. People complain because they think that life is happening to them. I didn't get this job. I didn't get the house that I wanted. I didn't get X, Y, and Z. That, you can't think like that. Life isn't happening to you, it's happening for you. You didn't get that job because there's a better fit out there. You didn't get that house because that wasn't the house that was meant for you. Life is always happening for you. It's not working against you. So don't have that negative, entitled mentality. Pay attention to the things that God is doing in your life and the things that He is making happen for you. Life is always happening for you, not against you, not to you. And when you realize that and start to have that mentality of life is happening for me, everything's always working in my favor, it really does make a huge difference in your thoughts. And this definitely takes a lot of practice to start thinking more positive, especially if you have been living a more negative lifestyle and you are prone to just automatically thinking negative, like how I am. You just really have to always reframe your thoughts and train your brain to see the positive. And over time, you will get there. It's just like working out and starting a new routine. You just have to be consistent. You have to train your brain every day. Another thing that I try to do is to always surround myself with positive people. I know it can be hard, especially if these people are family members and all they think is negative, because you're not really gonna cut them out of your life, most likely. My best advice for that is, if you have to be around negative people, is to just let it go through one ear and out the other, because if you listen to them and start focusing on their negativity, it's going to bring you down. So always see the glass half full, always try to be positive, surround yourself with positive so that radiates in you and you can radiate it back to them. Okay, and just real quick before we go, I did want to share with you some of my favorite podcasts for personal development and growth. So I have 3 of them that I'd like to share. And the first one is my all-time favorite podcast. I swear I listen to every single episode, and it's called Broken Brain. I will pop a picture of it up right here. They kind of just talk about like functional medicine and like mindset tips and really a lot of stuff in the health and wellness category, and it's opened my brain up to so much. So I definitely think if you're looking for a new podcast in that mindset, check this one out. And then another one I like is more business oriented, and it's the same kind of thing with mindset and positivity, personal development. I really like her. It's called She by Jordan Dooley, so I will have a picture up here. Another one I would like to share is a Christian podcast, and they actually just started their new season a few days ago, and it's called As For Me in My House by Melena and Jordan Ciciotti. I think that this podcast is really good for mindset, especially if you are a Christian. They talk a lot about a lot of different things and things relevant to what's going on in the world today, and it always helps me keep a fresh perspective on the world and how I should be viewing it as a Christian. So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this style of video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Do me a favor and leave a comment down below and tell me what you do to be more positive. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye.